Hi guys! Today we are going to talk about literary devices. This lesson will give you a foundational understanding of the tools and techniques that writers use to create compelling, meaningful, and engaging literature. Literary devices are the various methods and strategies employed in writing to enhance the narrative, develop characters, evoke emotions, and convey themes or messages more effectively. Literary devices are the building blocks of writing. It enhances writing by adding depth, emphasis, and a richer sensory experience for the reader. They are tools and techniques that poets use to enrich the meaning, imagery, and impact of their work. They include a wide range of techniques, such as metaphor, simile, irony, and symbolism, that writers use to create a particular effect or to communicate their ideas in a more impactful way. These devices can be used in all forms of literature, including poetry, prose, and drama. Now, let's discuss the different types of literary devices. First on the list is imagery. Imagery is descriptive language that appeals to the senses, creating vivid mental pictures for the reader. Examples include visual imagery, which refers to our sense of sight. Auditory imagery, which refers to our sense of hearing. Olfactory imagery, which refers to our sense of smell. Gustatory imagery, which refers to our sense of taste. Tactile imagery, which refers to our sense of touch. Here's an example of imagery from the famous poem I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. In this stanza, Wordsworth uses imagery to paint a picture of a serene landscape filled with golden daffodils swaying in the breeze. The reader can easily imagine the sight of the bright flowers, the movement of the breeze, and the calm atmosphere. This vivid description appeals to the senses of sight and touch, making the scene come alive in the reader's mind. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison between two unlike things, suggesting a similarity or shared characteristic without using like or as. So basically, it is a direct comparison between two unlike things. Here's an example of a metaphor from the poem Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. In this excerpt, Dickinson uses the metaphor hope is the thing with feathers to compare hope to a bird. The metaphor suggests that hope is light and delicate like a bird, and that it resides within the soul, constantly singing, providing comfort and resilience. This comparison deepens the reader's understanding of hope as something both fragile and enduring. Next is simile. Simile is a comparison between two unlike things using like or as. Here's an example of a simile from the poem A Red, Red Rose by Robert Burns. In this poem, Burns compares his love to a red, red rose using the word like. The simile emphasizes the beauty, freshness, and vibrancy of his love, much like a rose that has just bloomed in June. By comparing love to a rose and a melody, Burns creates a vivid image and a sense of harmony in his expression of affection. We also have symbolism. Symbolism is using objects, colors, or elements to represent deeper meanings or ideas beyond their literal significance. Here's an example of symbolism from the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. In this poem, the two roads symbolize the choices or decisions that the speaker must make in life. The roads are not just literal paths in a forest, they represent different directions the speaker's life could take. The road the speaker chooses symbolizes the choices we all make and the impact those choices have on our lives. The poem reflects on the nature of decision-making and the inevitability of choosing one path over another. Then we have rhyme. Rhyme is the repetition of similar sounds, usually at the ends of lines in poetry. Common rhyme schemes include AABB, ABAB, and ABCB. Here's an example of rhyme from the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. In this stanza, the words know, though, and snow create a rhyming pattern, AABA. The rhyme gives the poem a musical quality, enhances the rhythm, and creates a sense of unity within the verse. Next is tone. Tone can be conveyed through word choice, imagery, syntax, and overall style. Common tones in poetry include playful, serious, nostalgic, melancholic, sarcastic, hopeful, and reflective. Here's an example of tone from Edgar Allan Poe's poem The Raven. The tone in this excerpt is dark, melancholic, and ominous. Poe's choice of words like dreary, weak and weary, and forgotten lore sets a mood of despair and foreboding. The repetition of rapping also adds to the sense of unease, contributing to the overall tone of gloom and mystery that pervades the poem. Mood. Mood is the emotional atmosphere or feeling evoked in the reader by the poem. Mood can range from joyful and celebratory to dark and ominous, depending on the subject matter and the poet's treatment of it. Here's a simple example of mood from the poem The Swing by Robert Louis Stevenson. In this excerpt, the mood is joyful and playful. The light, cheerful language and the focus on the fun of swinging create a sense of happiness and carefree delight. The reader can easily imagine the joy and excitement of a child enjoying a swing on a sunny day. Alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sounds at the beginning of words in a sentence or phrase. A simple example of alliteration is found in the tongue twister. In this sentence, the repetition of the P sound at the beginning of each word creates a rhythmic effect and enhances the memorability of the phrase. We also have hyperbole. Hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration used for effect. A simple example of hyperbole is, "I'm so hungry I could eat a horse." This statement exaggerates the speaker's hunger to an extreme degree, emphasizing how very hungry they feel. The exaggeration is not meant to be taken literally but rather to express the intensity of their hunger. The last on the list is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a word that imitates the sound it represents. A simple example of onomatopoeia is, "The bee buzzed by my ear." In this sentence, buzzed imitates the sound that a bee makes, creating an auditory effect that enhances the reader's experience of the scene. Understanding literary devices is crucial for anyone studying literature because it allows you to appreciate the craft of writing on a deeper level. Recognizing these devices helps in analyzing texts, understanding the author's intent, and uncovering the underlying themes and messages. For students and educators, mastering literary devices is also essential for both writing and interpretation. Whether crafting an essay, analyzing a poem, or understanding a novel, knowledge of literary devices will enhance your ability to communicate and interpret complex ideas. In conclusion, literary devices are essential tools in the world of writing and literature. They enrich the text, making it more engaging, expressive, and meaningful. By studying and recognizing these devices, readers and writers alike can gain a greater appreciation for the art of storytelling.